It is 10 p.m. and you're welcome to UBC News Tonight, the last bulletin we have today on the 6th of April 2024. My name is Sharon Chundisha and a very warm welcome. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. We'll start off with the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Right Reverend Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, who has told Christians to embrace patience and tolerance in marriage. Kazimba, who describes marriage as a bed of roses and thorns, detests unfaithfulness as a leading killer of happy families. He sounded this during the 50th marriage, anniversary of the former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Mama Mbabazi, and his wife, Canon Jacqueline Mbabazi. Henry Okrut reports.
50 years ago, the Right Honorable Mama Mbabazi said I do to Canon Jacqueline Mbabazi. In reciprocation, she said the same. 50 years later, the couple has renewed their vows. It is a renewed commitment of endless love for this gorgeous duo. It takes tolerance to have this achieved.
It is painful to us as clergy when our children do the wrong thing. But I'm so grateful this afternoon that Right Honorable Amama, a son of a lay reader, and Canon Jacqueline, a daughter of a Reverend Canon, they are here to celebrate. They have done the right thing.
Archbishop Kazimba Mugalu oversaw the event at All Saints Cathedral in Nakasero. To him, marriage is a journey, not a destination.
They have gone through a lot of transitions in life. Hard times, which we have roses and thorns. Marriage is not an institution only for roses. There are thorns as well, and challenges.
The milestone was graced by dignitaries ranging from religious leaders, politicians, business operators, and entrepreneurs. As a way of remembering this day, they contributed towards completing this cathedral, which is still under construction.
In celebration, my wife and I will recover the door, the cost of the door. 53 dollars.
Thank you, Your Grace. I'll recover all the windows.
Mbabazi would speak to the congregation, detailing how their 50-year-old journey has been.
To all of you who have joined us today, your presence is a gift we cherish deeply. Your love, support, and prayers have been pillars of strength for us, especially during the most trying times. Each of you holds a special place in our hearts, for you have journeyed with us, laughed with us, cried with us, and prayed for us. Your friendship and love have been a source of constant encouragement and have played a pivotal role in our lives.
Not even the health challenges that he and his wife has experienced could stop their union.
As we renew our vows today, we do so not just as an affirmation of our love for each other, but as a testament to the enduring strength of faith, hope, and love. This ceremony is not only about looking back on the 50 years we have shared, but also about looking forward to the future with God as our guide.
This is what Mbabazi said before the couple retired to a reception at Serena, Kampala, where they treated their guests to a memorable welcome. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Recently, the Trade Ministry welcomed General Wilson Mbasumbadi as the new State Minister of Trade, succeeding Harriet Mbabazi, who has been in office for over 2.5 years. The Trade Ministry has extolled General Mbadi's arrival as renewed vigor and acknowledges his strategic acumen on the crucial aspect of the trade ecosystem, especially in quality standards enforcement. This was at Farmers House in Kampala, as you're about to witness.
Over the ministerial policy statement for the financial year 2023-24, which you are finalizing.
General Mbadi, in his welcoming remarks, wasted no time in issuing a challenge to the nation's standards body, demanding a higher level of diligence in upholding quality standards. He highlighted the importance of a viable trade sector in safeguarding national security as a vital catalyst for the prosperity and stability of youth. He has articulated his commitment to channeling his energies towards the government's ambitious goal of achieving a $500 billion GDP within the next decade.
It was my first day in Parliament as a minister, and I gave a very, very short maiden speech. And then what is coming up? NBS, now the aflatoxin report came in. And obviously now, aflatoxin is about quality. Yes. And I heard somebody said quality control. I said, you So quality control and NBS, we are watching you. Not only for the sicknesses you are causing Ugandans here, by sleeping on the job or being partners in manyangaring huko. So please, I will be watching those two areas, because without those being sorted out, you cannot export. We have joked around with quality. Immature vanilla, we harvest immature vanilla. Where is the quality control man? Does the ministry have the capacity to get down there?
General Mbadi's assertion is not unfounded. In many parts of the world, trade has been utilized as a weapon of war. In light of abundant climatic conditions and promising trade prospects, General Mbadi assumes office with extensive experience, having served on Trade Committee in Parliament. He stands poised to steer the Trade Ministry to new heights.
For me, an amateur in trade, at a tactical and operational level, but I know how it links with the security at a strategic level, because it's one of the elements that form the fourth instrument of power that states wield to relate with their citizens and other states. That's why you are negotiating, making negotiations. Negotiating, having what? Because you must have something, some negotiating chip to use for the other one to agree with you or disagree with you or something like that.
General Mbadi's appointment comes at a time when traders are facing challenges such as high taxation and unfamiliar policies like IFRIS calling for government to rein in expeditiously. Nevertheless, Uganda's trade volumes have significantly increased, especially after its admission into the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
No, me, I'm very easy to work with. You don't have to worry about me. I understand the strategic importance of this ministry for the security of this country. If you have money flowing into citizens' pockets through a good trade arrangements that allows proper or improve the domestic trade, and then not only quantitative but quality products for export. Who will be out there to be convinced to go on the streets, to go and demonstrate? Everybody's busy.
Recently, we took to Nigeria, we took to Mumbai. We are still opening other markets. And I was in lead of that.
The appointment of Gen Ombud has been met with freshness within the Trade Ministry. Widely regarded as a timely and strategic move, his accession promises to inject new energy into the trade sector, fostering exponential revitalization and enhancing its vibrancy.
I'm lucky to welcome you here. That when we are going to fight for this ministry, do fight the same as you are fighting for protecting this country. And at the same time, I can see you are already aware that the money used to protect this country comes from this ministry.
Crispus Ainitwe, UBC News.
Parents have been tasked to instill social values of integrity and discipline in their children in order to groom responsible citizens and leaders of coming generations in the country. Deputy Inspector General of Government, Dr. Patricia Okiria, made the call during a mentorship program held at St. Joseph's Girls Secondary School in Zambia.
Mentorship is an activity of giving help or advice to a young or a less experienced person over a period of time, especially at work or school, in a bid to empower and mentor the girl child with leadership and life skills. Students of St. Joseph Girls SS in Zambia have undergone a mentorship program organized by the old students of the school in partnership with Team Amito Foundation.
I thought it wise to start from home and mentor these young people into becoming young, better leaders for tomorrow. Because believe a country like Uganda needs people who are innovative, creative, and can actually bring changes into their communities in different ways.
The Deputy Inspector General of Government, Dr. Patricia Okiria, graced the event and advised the students to be disciplined as they embrace integrity to impact the country.
So I was telling them about how they can make use of themselves and have impact positively in their communities, even within the school. When we do mentorship, we walk the talk, we model the way, and encourage the young people to be exactly like us or even better.
She also urged parents to ensure the right upbringing of children by instilling in them social values.
Parents need to grow to build children up, to bring up children who are responsible. Because the Bible says, when you bring up a child in the way of the Lord, when he grows up, he doesn't depart from it. So when we encourage these children to grow up as responsible children, with humility, with discipline, with respect for themselves and for others, as girl children, then we are going to see responsible ladies.
Dr. Okiria also cited the need for Ugandans to work together in curbing the unending vice of corruption, which portrays a bad image of the country.
The fight against corruption requires everybody to own the war against corruption. That is why you hear us saying it is a people's war. For us in the Inspectorate of Government, we prefer to take the presence of the Inspectorate to the grassroots.
The President, St. Joseph Girls Order Association, advised the girls to be confident in themselves as they pursue their goals.
Girl child mentorship is very important to the girl child, especially when they are the younger stages, because it helps to shape their personal and professional lives.
The mentorship program was held under the theme, Empowering Tomorrow's Leaders, Fostering Innovation, Leadership, and Civic Engagement. It was also attended by Miss Uganda Hannah Karima, who briefed the girls about realizing their skills and talents. Rebecca Nantongo, Susan Inabugude, UBC News.
Now, Machindia Court Magistrate Cilion Nagadia has paid a locust visit at the land of the late Joseph Balikudembe Mukasa, located at Mugongo Village, Chengera in Makiso District, which is disputed by his relatives and was given lawful authority to Pastor Robert Kayanja to protect it by the late's beneficiaries based in the USA. Juko Ivan reports.
The contested land on Block 337 occupies plots 328 and 458, situated in LC to Mugongo Village, Chengera in Wakiso District. Its bona fide owner was Joseph Bali Kudembe Mukasa, who established on it Good Shepherd Orphanage Center to look after underprivileged children. Because he had no biological children, the late Bali Kudembe adopted 2 children, namely Nathan Matthew Hoyle Davenport and William Bartley Davenport, who are American citizens, but also friends of Pastor Robert Kayanja, a close friend of the late Bali Kudembe.
Naisimmanyi nnyo nkolagana ya Mwami Davenport ne Pastor Kayanja ne muzeeyi bw'abanga anaatera okuwummula nankwasa Davenport kati Davenport ate nga mikwano gya Pastor Kayanja kati awe ne bankwasaganya Pastor Kayanja nangamba nti ekintu kyonna ekiba kiza obwetaavu onna oba waliwo abazze ku nsonga yonna ndabe Pastor Kayanja.
Having lived in America for long, the late Bali Kudembe got Wilfred Luganda Seruwaji to take care of his property and the children's home to date.
Tangawo yalinawo sister we n'abazzukulu abazukulu be kaninga yasinganga kubeera mu America. Okay, yabeeranga mu America nekyalanga bukyazi okujja okulaba project etuuseewa so kati awo nange we najjira myaka giri 1999 okuvaawo so kakati mu 2004 nandekera obuvunaanyizibwa obw'okulabirira ekifo kino.
In his will, Bali Kudembe entrusted the authority over his property here in Uganda to his adopted children. However, following his demise, his family led by his brother John Serumaga claimed the ownership of the property and disputes ensued.
Ekibanja kino sisoose busoose kukibeeramu kyasooka kubeeramu taata wange ne nnyabo omugenzi bombi nga bagenzi mu mwaka gya 5 eyo nga 2 bwegiti kakati oluvannyuma taata bw'afuna ekibanja ekirala n'avaawo n'agenda.
William Bartley Davenport thus entrusted Pastor Robert Kayanja with the responsibility of lawfully acting of their property. Pastor Kayanja filed a lawsuit in the Machinde Magistrates Court, stopping changes in title deeds and selling off of the Davenport property. The situation has prompted Judge Celio Nagadia to pay a locus visit on the disputed land. Pastor Robert Kayanja's lawyer Solomon Sebowa sheds more light on the locus visit.
We filed an application to maintain the status quo of the land, and among the prayers were to stop any further subdivision or transfer of the suit property before the conclusion of the case in court. So today the court visited the locus to ascertain the boundaries of the land and also to ascertain who is in possession of the disputed property.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
The Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje, has issued a plea to the government urging for water subsidies to be provided to mosques to ensure easy access for Muslims during worship. This call to action was made during the iftar dinner hosted by the National Water and Sewage Corporation in Kampala. Sudat Kai reports.
Water holds significance for Muslims, essential for rituals such as ablution, cleanliness and maintaining the premises. However, many mosque administrators struggle under the weight of high water bills.
I don't know whether who has the authority that maybe prayer places like mosques should be at least considered with the deductions. This is our request, because we have to use water, and then to be patient that you don't just disconnect like others do at mosques. then it means you have to stop praying.
Speaking at the iftar dinner, the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje, appealed to the government to consider subsidizing water access and facilities. The Mufti advocated for increased Muslim representation within the National Water and Sewage Corporation, underlining the importance of diversity.
No, I mean percentage of Muslims. Less than 10, 15. If we need more. Like,
in regard to employment, National Water and Sewage Corporation boasted as a company that favors the Muslim faith.
The staff representation, we start usually with the board. It's a government policy and requirement that the Muslims have a contribution, a participatory membership, because there are only 9, including managing director. But minimum we usually have on the board, there will be 3 or 2 all the time. And our management also is the same. Out of the 4,000, 5,000 staff, I will try myself, I will pick interest to make sure that the Director of Human Resource, she's a part of this community, Yunus, to make sure that we have deliberate effort in the recruitment drive to balance.
Dr. Hanifa Namara, CEO of Stepping Stones and board member of the National Drug Authority, urged men to set examples at home regarding curbing domestic violence. She emphasized integrity's vital role in personal and professional life.
For us in Islam, the beauty of family is so well defined that it should be honored and we should be thanking God.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Busia District Security Team has embarked on investigations. Has embarked on investigations following rampant killings of border riders and fire outbreaks, mostly in schools. Now, in the last 2 months, the district has registered more than 6 cases of fire outbreaks in schools, including Victory Nursery and Primary School, Bill and Polly Nursery and Primary School, and Sibidise Primary School, among others. Among the registered cases at police include those of 4 border riders that were killed and their motorcycles taken by assailants.
Michael Chibuika, Busia Resident District Commissioner, says that they have apprehended a number of suspects in connection to fire outbreaks and murders in the district, and very soon they will be arraigned in courts of law for prosecution. He attributes these cases of fire outbreaks to land wrangles the affected schools have with some community leaders, adding that this has gone beyond the district of Busia to neighboring districts like Namaingo.
This is so rampant, this is so common in most of our institutions, and with this one, we are making a follow-up to ensure that we either resolve through mediation or we resolve it through court expeditiously, such that we don't find the cases of conflict escalating into such situations.
This was during a community engagement with all the regional security team and stakeholders of Busia District, organized by the area Member of Parliament, John Molimba, who also doubles as State Minister for Regional Affairs. Minister John Molimba says that following the rampant killings and fire outbreaks, he had to call for this meeting with the main objective to make a layout on how to eradicate insecurity in the district. Mr. Molimba says that most of the slain border riders own Kenyan registered motorcycles got on loan from a Kenya company called Wato, where they suspect that this could be a planned move. He adds that he has instructed the security team to take up action on and about this company in Kenya.
Now, I've also been told that the motorcycles which are given on loan are provided by a tracking device. And of course, the lenders or the providers of those motorcycles are the ones who hold the security responsibility of monitoring these cameras. Now, of all instances of theft of motorcycles, the borders have no control of tracking, but whenever they refer these matters to Watu, the company which lent them, they have not gotten any help. And so I have directed the RDC together with the security team to get to Watu and request them to have an accountability of why they have failed Despite installing tracking devices, why have they failed to help us to track the stolen motorcycles?
Moving on from that, government is set to invest $217 million to support women entrepreneurs, particularly in value to improve their competitiveness. Now, this was echoed by the Commissioner for Gender and Women's Affairs in the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Angela Kafero, during the belated women's celebrations in Wakiso District.
Women play an important role in economic transformation and development, hence the need to be supported and barriers that hinder them from participation in the money economy be eliminated as well. During belated Women's Day celebrations organized by Fair Trade Africa in collaboration with Wagagai Flower Farm in Wakiso District, the Commissioner for Gender and Women's Affairs in the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development pointed out that government has allocated $217 million to support women entrepreneurs.
But also in terms of value addition. If I'm growing coffee, can I start packing my coffee beans, or can I start grinding my coffee beans into coffee that can be put on the market and can be consumed? So we are looking at supporting women to add value to their products.
Nakafero further commended government for putting in place laws that support women, citing the Succession Amendment Act of 2022.
You know very well that Uganda is a patriarchal society where ownership of property, inheritance was all vested, it favors men and boys. But the Succession Amendment Act 2022 empowers women and girls to be heirs to the properties, to the estates of their fathers as well as their husbands. For me, that is a gain which we are celebrating as a country.
Strategy and Impact Director at Fair Trade Africa, Medline Muga, points out that her organization has ensured that women in employment are supported in education, marketing of their products, but also ensure fair treatment of the employees.
We have standards for what we call hired labor, and we have standards for what we call small producer organizations. And for this, there are issues around gender. Gender is one of the cornerstones, one of the themes we have. And these standards talk about non-discrimination, about fairness, about pushing women in leadership. And so one of the things when you're fair trade certified, you must abide or comply with what the standards direct.
With the power of Africa is now rising, and we as exporting countries, I think, is going to be the next century. And I look forward to that as I get older, and I can see and enjoy how we as our countries in this area have become more and more stronger. And Fair Trade, thank you for being part of that as well.
I understand more about women's rights in a way that when my rights are being violated, I can say no, because I have that powers. I'm empowered, I'm enlightened, my eyes are now open. When I see somebody being harassed, I can say no, because I know the rights, and I know the right holders that I can face to report what is going on.
Fair Trade Africa ensures fair terms of trade between farmers and buyers, protects workers' rights, and supports producers to have thriving farms.
Passenger service vehicles plying Kasese-Bwera Road barred from loading passengers, hence affecting traffic along Kasese-Bwera Highway. This was after a section of drivers belonging to Kasese Drivers Cooperative Circle were allegedly deployed to escort empty vehicles leaving Kasese Municipality to Bwera Town in Mpondwe Lubiriha Town Council.
Some passengers were reportedly found stranded with their goods and luggage at Bwera Kasese taxi stage. Some decided to use tricycles, commonly known as tuk-tuk, to transport their products to the market in Mpondwe. These described the situation as terrible since their plans to reach Mpondwe Lubiriha Expo Market were cut short. Busia taxi drivers have vowed to continue with their sit-down strike should police fail to unconditionally release 13 drivers arrested on Wednesday for yet unknown reasons. The Regional Community Liaison Officer for Rwenzori East Region, SP Luke Mbusa, confirmed the arrest of the 13 taxi drivers.
Some drivers of this Buera Kasese Drivers Association and SACCO were arrested by police, and we have them here. But they are being investigated, of which offense later on you will be informed.
He says the strike was uncalled for, since police are still investigating the allegations about the embattled drivers in custody.
Let people continue moving, and then these people will be given a bond, and if they found that maybe they have committed an offense that deserve them to be taken to court, they will be taken to court. But it shouldn't cause alarm of anything, because the police is competent to arrest any person who they suspect that have committed an offense. And now if investigation have taken off, they will find if they have offense, be taken to court. If there is no offense, then they will be given a bond as the investigation is still continuing.
It is alleged that the embattled drivers committed offences including forging receipts, stamps and opening a bank account for Kasese Drivers Cooperative SACCO after holding illegal elections by the SACCO's interim committee.
And of course, youths in Kagadi district have been asked to exploit their natural talents as well as embrace programs as a solution to unemployment and overdependence on government for material wealth. This comes after a hotly contested Akali music talents promotion that was organized under the theme Peace and Development, in which one Maureen Muganyizi emerged the winner, scooping 2 million Ugandan shillings. Speaking as chief guest during the award of certificates and money to winners of the music competition held at Kagadi grounds, Kagadi resident district commissioner Lilian Ruteraho asked the youth to utilize the prevailing peace, freedom, liberalization of the music industry and productive government programs to create wealth than clamoring for white-collar jobs from government. Residents of Buhimba sub-county can now access basic services like markets, schools and health facilities following rehabilitation of a 6.5-kilometer road that connects villages of Chitole, Remparachi, Bujaria and Kijwanga. Dan Athura Matovu, a resident of Remparachi, says that the road connects to Bujara Health Center, Bujara Primary School, Jolly Gets Primary School and Bujara Market.
Buhimba sub-county residents have expressed appreciation to government for rehabilitating a 6.5-kilometer road which has been in sorry state for 20 years. They can now access basic services like markets, schools and health facilities. The road also links the sub-county to other districts of Hoima, Chankwanzi and Kakumiro in Bunyoro sub-region.
Because when it gets to the center, there is another extension going to there is a village called Ruasajwa. So we did try to extend it there so that the accessibility can be a little bit widened, so that our people can enjoy the benefits and the services can be extended to the ground.
The vice chairperson, Buhimba sub-county, says that several people lost their lives at the hands of cattle rustlers who were using the road to carry out attacks. The area member of parliament, Buhaguzi East County in Chikube district, Sarah Stephen Itaza, says he has been receiving a lot of complaints from the sub-county and villages. Itaza says that some of the locals are stubborn because instead of tilling their gardens, they just plow the road.
Right from LOC1, the councillors of this area and the general public, we have had a combined effort to make sure that this road is worked on permanently. At least it will be able to push us for another 10, 15, 20 years.
Moving on, pastors in Mbale City have been cautioned against feeding off their followers, but prioritize spiritual and economic empowerment for their prosperity. Surrey County Member of Parliament, also Senior Pastor of Impact Ministries, Mbale City, Emmanuel Moding stressed that a number of pastors countrywide are almost scaring away believers from their churches as a result of overbegging money from them. Now, Pastor Omoding was speaking during the consecration of Bishop Sam Wanyaye as the new chairperson for Mbale Church Elders Fellowship.
Mbale City has over 300 born-again churches that operate under the umbrella of Church Elders Fellowship. The born-again church members transferred leadership from Bishop Andrew Mutengu of Word of Faith Cathedral, who steered the chairmanship of the fellowship for 2 terms.
Therefore, on behalf of the Pastors Fellowship, as the outgoing chairperson, would like to hand over this back to you. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Pastor Sam Wanyaye of Mustard Seed Power Church in Nambasa, Mbale City, has been consecrated to a Right Reverend Bishop of the born-again churches of Mbale City, best known as Mbale Church Elders Fellowship, with a call to pastors in the city to desist from feeding off their followers, but focus on their economic empowerment.
The leaders have become, they are feeding on the sheep, but are not feeding the sheep. And those are the pastors we have these days, feeding on the sheep, but they are not feeding the sheep.
Special Presidential Advisor and Interim Women's League Chairperson Didia Wanyoto challenged the born-again church's leadership to work with government to improve the well-being of believers.
Get organized, that's when government will come in and support, because you are leaders in your own right, you'll be able to also participate and get supported to support government programs.
Meanwhile, the newly consecrated Bishop Sam Wanyaye pledged to stick to spiritual administration in addition to economic empowerment among the believers by encouraging them to engage in government programs.
With the fellowship, I purpose to see that we have fellowship from zone level to city level. What do I mean? From the village to the parish. That way, we shall have government at hand and to implement government programs right to the grassroots.
The outgoing chairperson, Bishop Andrew Mutengu, lauded government for fostering enabling environment for all religions to freely worship and tasked his successor to cement and add on the achievements left by previous leadership.
To make sure that the foundation that we've laid as the outgoing committee is built on and built on well. That is number one. Number two, to sustain the unity. To sustain the unity, because without unity, we can't do much.
The Mbale Born-Again Churches Elders Fellowship has lasted for over 40 years. The leaders are now focusing on strengthening spiritual, physical and economic empowerment among the believers.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
Are you planning or in the process of traveling abroad for work? Using irregular channels to find and travel for work abroad often seems cheaper and faster, but you risk being trafficked, mistreated, or forced to do work you did not agree to. Using proper channels is safer, offers more protection, and better access to support services when problems arise. Do not be deceived. Choose the proper channels. Always verify all information before traveling abroad for work by contacting the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, your local district labour office or DSOS office. You can also visit EEMIS website on eemis.mglsd.go.ug. This message is brought to you by the International Labour Organization with support from the Government of Switzerland.
You packed more with Harbour jelly and Harbour foam. Yes, we packed. It will protect your skin from skin rashes. More with pack. It is a new improved more with Harbour jelly. So soft and smooth. It is a more with Harbour jelly.
Tell me, kids, the scent. Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Herbal Jelly and Herbal Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit All Day Confidence.
Welcome to the business news today on UBC News Tonight. Officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Petroleum Authority of Uganda have just come back from a 4-day supervisory field visit in the Albertine Graben, where they hosted ambassadors, heads of missions and high commissioners to those countries that host a major oil companies operating in Uganda. The objective of this visit was to familiarize the ambassadors with the progress of Uganda's oil and gas initiatives.
Uganda's ambassadors to China, France, the United Arab Emirates and Tanzania, accompanied by dignitaries from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, have visited the Albertine Graben and commended the progress of all oil and gas projects in the region. The 4-day oversight tour started at the Uganda Petroleum Institute in Kigumba, where they witnessed Uganda's efforts in empowering local content in the technical fields of oil and gas.
We have come a long way in bridging the gaps that were existent and ensuring that the competencies, the qualifications that we are delivering here meet the needs of the industry. And that's the same reason we have attracted now partners like Total Energies to train their production technicians here.
They then visited the Kingfisher Development Project, which is overseen by CNOC, a Chinese government corporation.
There is a lot inside here.
China tells us that 30, 40 years ago, they were like we are. So they understand our dilemmas, our challenges, and they are ready and willing to partner with us in a win-win situation.
This visit intended to enrich their understanding of various pertinent issues concerning the sector as they witness the progress so far taken.
We are looking at GDP growth, we are looking at the income generated
And with all aspects of environmental diversity taken care of, we know a lot has been going on in the community, in the society, both within the nation and also outside in the world. But here we are hands-on to see exactly what is being implemented.
The ambassadors were marveled at the progress at various sites in the region. Kabalega Airport and Industrial Park, projected to be at 15 months away from completion, will support transportation of lightweight equipment for the sector, but also complement industrial, air transport and tourism initiatives of Uganda.
And for the first, say, 5 years, the government is looking at the transportation of equipment. Maybe after that, that's when it will turn their attention, maybe to passenger flights and the rest.
Key among the concerns of the delegates was job creation and economic empowerment of Ugandans.
As we were coming in the bus, we were told that at the onset, 1,000 people were employed here. Now it has come down to 200, but again it will go up when the refinery starts and other things. And Uganda is a country that has a young population, so it's the reason why you see apparently in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it has become central to promote economic and commercial diplomacy, to attract in investments, to promote exports, to promote tourism, to create job opportunities. So it's a very important project.
The third day of the trip saw the travelers move to Busia district, specifically to Tilenga Project Industrial Area by Total, which is the largest oil project area.
Amidst anticipation, all stakeholders in the Albertine Graben confirmed that commercial oil in Uganda will start coming out between June 2025 and November.
By the fourth day, the delegates had an all-round overview of the various initiatives Uganda is taking, challenges and timeframes, where they spotted some opportunities to leverage in their offices as they serve the country abroad. Wadulo Makanold, UBC News, in the Albertine Graben.
The Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaji, has urged financial institutions, including banks and lending companies, to introduce Islamic banking, which is a move to help Muslims align their banking practices with their beliefs while fostering equal social development.
Speaking at Uganda Muslim Supreme Council headquarters in Old Kampala, Mufti Shaban Ramadan Mubaji emphasized the importance of introducing Islamic banking systems that educate customers about healthy financial practices.
When you are trying to keep your money, you are trying to develop. My only humble request is that think of halal packages that Muslims can freely take on or use, like embracing the halal banking. If you want to be competitive in the market, please consider halal banking window for the Muslims. You'll get, you won't be out of market.
Mufti Mubaji highlighted the benefits of charitable giving, especially during the last 10 days of Ramadan. He also called on employers to accommodate Muslim employees' prayer schedules.
Also, in employing staff, please consider a good percentage. This will attract, whenever there is a Muslim there, others will know, yes, this is our bank. They will identify with the bank also. Then the last one is having prayer places in your facilities.
Housing Finance Bank's operations manager, Michael Opira, confirmed plans to introduce Islamic banking services, emphasizing the institution's commitment to community support.
As a bank, we look at how do we share, we look at inclusion, look at whenever our colleagues have a situation like this, where they're going through a special month like the month of Ramadan, we need to identify with them, because as an indigenous bank, would like to always be with our people, be on the ground with our people.
In another development, the Nile Humanitarian Development Agency provided food items to assist Muslims during Ramadan's final days.
And we have also iftar programs. We are talking about 15 iftar programs, 9 in Kampala, 6 in Jinja, where every day 300 people are eating food.
We have been witnessing the donations because Ramadan is a month of giving, sharing, togetherness, and generosity for those who have to share with those who don't have. We have done this in northern Uganda. We have done it in western Uganda, in Mbarara and other places. We have done it in Kampala. We have reached the community of the police. The other day we were at Nagulu Police.
Sudat Kaye and Jamil Sakaja, UBC News.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyezi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
Welcome back to the sports news, and on the occasion of celebrating the International Day of Sports for Development and Peace, the French Embassy and Uganda Skateboard Union have closed the Solidarity Fund for Innovative Project. This was at the Chitintali Skate Park with exhibitions in breakdancing and skating lighting up the day.
2 years ago, and mainly to help Uganda prepare for the 2024 Olympic Games, the French government introduced the Solidarity Fund for Innovative Projects. The 2-year project targeted skating and breakdancing, which are 2 of 4 new entrants at the Games this year.
And over the past 2 or 3 years, we have partnered with the local community to help develop those sporting disciplines in this neighborhood to ensure that there are some facilities, some infrastructure, but also some skills and support to those practicing those sports.
As the project closes, and this despite a little chances of any athlete from the 2 sports squads being at the Games this July, women involvement and increased clubs have grown the sport's popularity.
Well, over the last 2 years, a lot has happened, both in the world of sport, because this project has gone beyond sport. It's joined 2 things. It's joined infrastructure development and sport. So over the last 2 years, we've been training massively. We've had training in skateboarding like never before. Then also we've extended skateboarding to different communities. Refugee camps, we have been to over 5 refugee camps in Uganda. Eastern Uganda, Western Uganda, Northern Uganda, and also we've been to so many schools. We visited schools, and also we've been able to meet the vulnerable people and train them in skateboarding. But beyond skateboarding, we've also been empowering them with skills like handcraft and all that. So basically, we've been using sport, skateboarding, as a tool for social development.
The project highlighted sport as a tool for inclusion, integrity and diversity, which the French government has committed to pursue in other regions of Uganda.
We are, through the French Development Agency, in a partnership with the Skateboarding Union to replicate that in Gulu, so that other cities in Uganda can enjoy the same sporting practice, but also the same interconnection between sport and the city and the youth, which are actually those to whom we look as France in Uganda.
Skating in Uganda has gone through various trends, but is now courtesy of partners like the French Embassy scaling the heights.
Uganda Cycling Association wishes to start the Grand Tour Denial Championship, which has received the nod of 2 key sports administrators. Take a look.
Cycling in Uganda is gaining momentum, and in the aftermath of the recent Africa Games gold medal finish by Charles Kajimu in the individual time trial is expected to blossom. With this in mind, Uganda Cycling Association has started exploring opportunities that can grow the sport further. None of what the association's top hierarchy can think of is better than the Tour de Nile if, when materialized, will start local and regional before going international.
Do you have a program or you have an idea? We need to organize Tour de Nile, like what they did in Egypt. So next year we are planning to organize this tour.
It will start and end at the source of the Nile in Jinja, but go to many eastern Uganda places, in the process helping Uganda feed off sports tourism.
It is important that we use sports to know our country. And one of them is, cycling, because cycling will move you from the one place to another. So if we wanted to know about Tour de Nile, we would use cycling as a sports activity, but at the same time, use the tourists to cycle with us and reach different spots of the Nile, interesting spots, and then at the same time we do sports tourism and make other countries know about the Nile using the sports, especially the sport of cycling.
Uganda Cycling Association plans the Tour de Nile to be a 1,000-kilometer expedition of between 5 to 7 stages and lasting about a week.
My suggestion would be that you combine both. You have a bicycle tour, which will be healthy, competitive, and then we have enough scenic spots like this place where you have the nature beauty of River Nile, where you can take a rest and enjoy life. This is Nile special. Nile special in the sense of nature beauty. This is 100% sports tourism made in Uganda.
The target is to incorporate the Nile Basin countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Sudan and Egypt in the early stages before targeting a date on the international cycling calendar.
The deputy head teacher of Census Primary School, Bugolobi, Omita Patrick, has called upon National Council of Sports to actively engage in nurturing children's talents through specialized training programs aimed at skills development. Now, Omita made the remarks during a Sports Day event organized by the school where a number of talents were displayed.
Deputy head teacher of St. Kizito Primary School, Omita Patrick Okoth, has commended the collective efforts of teachers, parents and community members for their support in fostering a conducive environment for talent exploration and growth among the students.
By coming to participate, you can see the school is filled up with the parents. They have actually participated, they have supported us. And you see, even giving us their children is something very, very important.
During the event, teacher Kauda Rebecca encouraged students to have faith in their abilities and to embrace the journey of discovering and honoring their unique talents.
Really encourage you. If you have a talent, don't relax. Talents are good. Talents have seen people through, even throughout the country, even internationally. People have gone famous. People have developed, people have become rich out of talent.
Walima Henry, Assistant Games and Sports Coordinator, stressed the significant role of talent development, not only in enriching students' lives, but also in contributing to national achievements in sports.
We had a medal from 1972 when Akibua won us an Olympic medal. Until very many years, until 2012, when we had another one from Kiprotich. So we encourage that, well, let's continue building talents and also bringing more games on board so that, like currently KCC is encouraging bringing games like baseball to our primary school. Let us encourage these people to come continue training our children.
The call for talent-focused sports programs highlights the broader goal of nurturing well-rounded individuals who excel both academically and in extracurricular pursuits, fostering a generation of confident and skilled individuals poised for success on various fronts. Sudat Kaye.
That's all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Chomjasha and Mugalu Muhammad in sign language. From the team and I, have a lovely night and a beautiful Sunday. Bye.